Happy Friday, everyone. December 18th, 2020. Just want to make sure the strength of my signal is good, which it says the strength is well. Okay, so let's check it out. Sound like we're moving. Got 3 people in the box. Once again, I want to welcome everybody to the Friday chat. Professor Black Ops, Cybersecurity for the People. Welcome to my channel. Just gonna do something a little different today. So what is my channel about? 90% of my channel is gonna be about cybersecurity, 5% technology, 5% about society. So in cybersecurity, we're gonna talk about personal privacy, who is watching who is watching you, and who is making a digital dossier of you. Right, so what is a digital dossier of you? So everybody knows Facebook. So when you check in that you're at a restaurant, and when you look at your feeds and your commercials on the side, right, you start getting high in restaurants. If you buy a certain liquor, you start getting liquor, right? When you travel certain places with your GPS on, Facebook is creating a global dossier of you, right? Of how they're tracking you and what you will buy and pretty much what you will vote and really what's your income bracket and, like you said, what are you most likely to purchase. In the personal security, we're talking about credit card fraud. We're talking about cyber stealing. We're also going to discuss small business, software reviews, network, zero trust, policies and procedures, major hacking, and actually talking about a cybersecurity program. Most people on YouTube fix actually on a particular subject, being Linux, networking, penetration, incident response. So on my channel, I'm gonna try to do a cybersecurity program. How do we stitch all that together? How do we make all that work? How do we make a cybersecurity program talking about the risk of all that and how that actually works for the regular person? Right, so when you get a credit report, it has what your credit score is, and in cybersecurity, it's the same thing. What does your credit score means? How risky are you to probably getting hacked? Right, so my channel is super new, so I've only have about 24 videos. I've got 65 subscribers, so everybody on YouTube says your first 100 videos are gonna suck. So I just want everybody to stay with me. I promise I'm gonna get better, and I promise we're gonna get better. So I'm quoting Drake because I'm old. We're gonna start from the bottom, and we're gonna work this channel. We're gonna make this channel one of the best cybersecurity people on YouTube, right? So I'm a little different because I'm unique. I'm different. I didn't go to a super big school. I went to a state school. I got a couple of certs. I've started everything from programming to database administrator to help desk to web application server admin to, like I said, I programmed Oracle for 25 years. I actually work at the Department of Defense for 11 years. I'm a consultant, and I work for a big state agency for 11 years. So that's my background. So that's kind of what I want to bring to this YouTube channel. So if you have any questions, just drop them in the box. I'm peeking at my phone. That's why I'm looking to the right. So if you got any questions, I just want to welcome everybody to the box. Once again, this is Professor Black Ops, Cybersecurity for the People, and welcome to my channel. This is going to be a short video. Like I said, I usually come at the last Friday, but since this is going to be a holiday month, I just wanted to jump in, like I said, do a recap, and let's chop it up. So we're going to discuss the big one this week, and probably the last 2 weeks was Fireeye and the solar wind hack. There's a whole bunch of videos. I have 2 videos that I actually done on this hack, so I'm just going to recap it just as a high level. Just kind of talk about the sophistication of that hack. Because of the sophistication of the techniques and operational security capabilities of the actor aka is Russia. So most cybersecurity professionals and intelligence agency believes it was Russia. So they want to have greater security of the broader community talking about Russia. So the interesting thing about the Fireeye and the SolarWinds hack is SolarWinds has 18,000 customers in the United States and North America. So that hack that Russia actually did on SolarWinds made 18,000 companies vulnerable to being hacked. So SolarWinds is actually a vendor or a third-party product to the government. So the government agency that got actually hacked was U.S. Treasury. SolarWinds was installed on all their servers to do monitoring, right? So when you have a monitoring software, it's going to be on most of your VMs, a lot of your network components, because it's talking about the health, how much traffic you're winning. So if you can actually breach that third party and get it into that industry, you all over that company's or government entity's network. Right, so the big part of that, once again, is it was a third-party hack. They installed malware into SolarWinds. So when people start downloading the software to patch that version of SolarWinds, right, that malware got on all those servers. And two, once I looked out on the network, most people were installing SolarWinds with admin capabilities on Windows. Since I do security reviews as part of my job is, you should never hopefully install a third-party package on all your servers with administrative privileges. So when a hacker takes over that account running on those servers with administrative privilege, it's already at an elevated account and an elevated procedures, right? So when it starts trying to move between your network, trying to reach out to the network to get additional payload, right? It's already at administrative privileges on that box, meaning it has way too many rights, and it can write, move, transfer, because it has those privileges of that account. So one of the other interesting things is once the malware got on your machine, it actually called out to another server to pull down the payload of actually having the virus. So even though it was in the package, it actually had to call out to the internet once again and pull down the malware. So like I said, this is high level. We're just going to chop it up. That package with administrative privileges actually were on premise for the U.S. Treasury. That malware actually took over their certificate server. So when you log on to another server, instead of using a username and password, you can use a signed certificate. It's just basically kind of like a key fob going between servers. Like I said, so you don't need the password. So once it took over the signing certificate, that malware could actually escalate to any vendor, account, or anything on your network, because the signing certificate is kind of like the master username and password for your whole network. So everybody's going to have to do we call it a hot wash or a post-mortem to figure out how did that happen and how do you lock that down and secure it. So it says, using a high privilege account acquired through the technique above or other means, attacker may add their own credentials to existing application service principals, enabling to call an API with permissions assigned to that application. So that means I can create another account and give myself God or the highest level privileges on that box, right? And what they did is they went up into Azure with that signing certificate and they started letting them read government emails. I think the advisory said it was on there since March or May. So it's been out there approximately 9 months or 7 months. So it's been reading confidential emails, stealing files, moving files. And two, what it does is once it gets on those boxes, it creates other backdoors in case you find it. So they're going to spend a lot of money and a lot of time trying to recreate those servers, patch them up, and try to get that mitigated throughout the whole United States government, because it wasn't just the United States Treasury. I know it was 2 other government agencies, and there's probably some other government agencies that just haven't came out and acknowledged the hack. The most impressive thing out of the hack, I think, was how Fireeye actually handled it. Fireeye was actually pretty transparent to say, hey, we've been hacked. If you go to my other video, they actually created signature files to say, hey, if you put this actually on your intrusion detection and prevention software. These signature files would actually block our red team tools for actually hacking you. So I thought that was pretty upstanding and a blueprint for our companies to handle it. In the past, a company of that size wouldn't let people know that they were actually hacked. They would actually be hiding that they were hacked because they think it was bad press and might actually hurt them. The impressive thing is they teamed up with Microsoft and they actually was digging pretty deep. I think Microsoft, because that malware actually helped them get into Azure. So I think Microsoft wanted to see firsthand how they were grabbing, like we talked about, their signing certificate to actually get in Azure to read people's emails. Once again, if you look in the description of this video, there's an excellent write-up from Microsoft, and they go into excruciating detail of how that hack actually worked. I'm probably going to do another video to talk about how do you prevent that from hacking from each level. How do you stop the malware? How do you stop the escalation of privileges? How do you stop it moving from your on-prem network to your Azure network? Right, so those will probably be further videos. But like I said, I did one on Fireeye and I did one on the U.S. Treasury. And it went in pretty super detail about how that hack went. Like I said, that was the big deal this week. Second thing was another advisory from the CISA and the FBI warns of the rise of ransomware targeting schools, K12 schools. So since people are working from home, a lot of people aren't keeping track of their network on-prem. A lot of adversaries and bad actors are attacking schools, grade schools, because they don't usually have the money or the technical people or the infrastructure to be able to handle that. So people are dropping ransomware on there, and a lot of schools are paying. There was a school in Baltimore, I think they paid $30,000 to get their access back to their servers. So ransomware at a high level basically is malware gets on your machine, it actually encrypts your hard drive, and for you unencrypt it, you got to reach out to the bad actors and the adversaries and pay for your key. The key will let you unencrypt your disk to be able to get to your information. Right. So in a joint security alert published on Thursday, United States Cybersecurity Infrastructure and Security Agency, that's the CISA, S-I-S-A, Cybersecurity Infrastructure and Security Agency, along with the FBI, warned about increased cyber attack targeting United States K-12 educational sectors, often leading to ransomware attack, the theft of data, and the disruption of distance servicing. Right, since everybody's doing distance learning, or the majority of the United States is doing distance learning, if you actually could block a university from distance learning, right, their students' parents would be very upset because that's what they're praying for now, right? Traditionally now is distance learning. So the CISA and the FBI said there's a high level of that happening because that's easy, that's low-hanging fruit. It's easy to drop malware, get somebody to click on a phishing email, just drop a malware and just start encrypting their drive. Then you can actually send them a money request to get the encryption key to get them to unencrypt it. The crazy thing, and we're going to look at that in a future video, there's actually ransomware service. You can actually rent a ransomware service. They will actually attack the school. You pay the service, they take 30% off and send you the rest of the money. Right? If you go on the dark web, that's actually a service that people are providing. So the other thing coming up for me and my channel in 2021, I got interviews coming up with a couple CEOs from mid-sized consulting companies. I have a CIO set to come up and get interviewed. So I want to start interviewing people that are in the cybersecurity realm. I've got a couple of students that I'm actually going to interview. I kind of like to see from a young person perspective is how do they see themselves growing in the cybersecurity world. Cybersecurity is so vast now. All right, so you can be on the technical side, the management side, compliance, project management. I see a lot of the Cisco guys. So, of course, when you talk about Cisco and cybersecurity, right, you're talking about three-tier networks, controlling your traffic, setting up firewalls, setting up DMZs and different things from a Cisco perspective. So I'm gonna interview a couple of Cisco guys and just kind of focus in on what does cybersecurity means to a Cisco person. All right, I got a couple of my subscribers that are penetration testing experts, so we'll get with them, talk about from a red team perspective, how do you feel that Fireeye red team tools got stolen? What do you think that's going to do for the underlying community, and what do you think that does for the penetration testing in the future, and what should that look like? So those are some of the smaller interviews I have coming up. Like I said, I have a couple CIOs, so we're going to talk about how do they set up a cybersecurity program. So I think that's the next level. We got a bunch of people getting certs, we got a bunch of people getting degrees, but when you go from technician to management and to managing a team and setting up a cybersecurity program, where from a management you got policies and procedures, incident response, disaster recovery. Then you got the technical side. How are you hardening systems? How are you protecting systems? Like I said, how you get with the Cisco guys? How you getting with the DBAs, the guys that set up the database? How are they protecting your information? You know, if you get a virus on there like the U.S. Treasury, right? You got to get all those people working together for a cybersecurity program, right? The thing people say is what? You're only strong as your weakest link. So if your database guy is setting up the database with no security, the networking guy, all that networking is not going to help, right? If I can just log into the database and just look at any table I want, look at this SSNs, look at the PII, personal identifiable information with credit cards, right? So my channel, I hope, is going to talk more about cybersecurity as a group, talk about big hacks like that. Then after the hacks, from an incident response, what should we do? Right, Fireeye was a major breach. It was on probably 60% of the company servers, 70% of the company servers. So if 70% of your company servers are hacked or infiltrated or exfiltrated with data, who do you let know? Do you report to HIPAA? Do you report to OSHA? Do you report to, who do you report to? Do you got to report to the president? I'm sure if you lose that much information, the president's going to want to know. Right? Depending on certain states, you actually have to report to the state general attorney if you lose citizens' information in that state. So that's something that just came out recently. So you need to do the research from a cybersecurity program. Who do you need to let know? And two is the other part of that is, how does that actually flow into regular people's lives? Right? So when your bank gets hacked, right, when they refund your money, what does that do to your credit score, right? What does that do to you being able to get a loan in the future, right? Cybersecurity touches everybody in the United States, but a lot of people don't really understand how cybersecurity does that. So in the future, we're talking about driverless cars, right? We know Google's got it, Tesla's got it. So when that's driving, there's sensors between the cars that are communicating so they don't run into each other, right, along with the sensors. So if somebody hacks that sensor and tells the car to turn right, that's going to be an accident. So I want to show how cybersecurity plays into the everyday lives of just ordinary people. So once again, that was something super short. I just wanted to chop it up on a Friday. I want to wish everybody a happy holidays. I want to wish everybody a happy new year. Once again, this is Professor Black Ops, cybersecurity for the people. I want to welcome you to my channel, and I'm sure we're going to have a great 2021. If you need me to talk about anything extra, just put it in the chat or put a comment on any of my videos. My goal is to answer all the comments on any of my videos. I only have 65 subscribers, so it's not like it's a lot of work, but I hope to grow the channel. I hope to give you content that you really want. I'm actually going to start having hands-on exercises. I'm actually am a real professor at a community college, so couple of my students reached out to me, and we're going to actually really get busy on Amazon. I think that's the 800-pound gorilla in the industry. And I think if you master that, that'll help your skills in the future. And I do a lot of security reviews, and a lot of my security reviews are actually on Amazon. So I'm trying to, I understand the infrastructure very well, but I'm really trying to learn the intricacies of everything from the Amazon relational database, the Amazon VPC, how do you control traffic, how does government encryption, talking about FIPS 140-2. But those are some of the things we're going to talk about in the future. Once again, this is Professor Black Ops, Cybersecurity for the People. Welcome to my channel, and we're going to have a great 2021.